Hi everyone, today is Friday, September 11th. First, we started with attendance, and as it is a Friday, we share, so I give an opportunity for every student to share. So that took up about 30 minutes of our morning. Then we went to break, and then we moved on to grammar. So, in your grammar, weeks 4 and 5, page 5. So when you're on page 5, I don't want to show you the paper just yet. I want to give you instructions, and then I want you to try, and then I'll show you for answers. So for our directions, we always needed to dissect them. So the directions are: circle the sentences, place an X over each sentence fragment. And so what I had the students do is first identify the sentences. They put a circle around the sentences and an X just on the side of the fragments. So a fragment is not a complete sentence. It doesn't have a subject and a predicate. It only has one or the other. Once the students identified the sentences, then they told me what part of the sentence was a subject and what part of the sentence was a predicate. So I'll just show you the first one. Okay, so we had to dissect the instructions. So we're circling first the sentences and then an X over sentence fragments. So the store will not open until noon today is a complete sentence. The store is our subject, and the subject is who or what the sentence is about. Then the predicate is what is the subject doing? Well, will not open until noon today. So it's not opening is our predicate. Okay, so please work on the rest. If not, you can pause. Their homework is to finish. And then we moved on to the next piece. So decide if the sentence is a statement or a question. So that's number 1. We got to decide. We underline if it's a statement or a question. Number 2, we're going to write your answer on the line. Number 3, we're going to rewrite the sentence using the correct punctuation and capitalization. I gave them time in class to finish it, and then we went over it. So I'll go over number 1. Again, 3 lines underneath the letter means it needs to be capitalized. So that's important. I want us to get used to this. So, did you study for the spelling test? That is a question. So we wrote question. And then we rewrote the sentence with the correct punctuation and capitalization. Did you study for the spelling test? Question mark. Okay. So here are the rest. All right. From there, we had more students share. Then we went on a break. And then we moved into math. So today there was not a lot of activities, but we just spent more time on each activity and having students share. So in their chapter 1, Go Math, we turn to page 31. So we turn to page 31. We practiced, or what I want to focus on is making sure students know how to add and carry over that extra number. So this is a lot. We paused. I gave them plenty of time to do a problem, and then we went and checked. So that's mainly what we did for our math. So we first need to add. We add on the ones first. 1 plus 5 is 6. 5 plus 4 is 9. 2 plus 3 is 5. Then we needed to estimate. I asked them. They said, let's round to the tens place. So we boxed the 5, pointed to the 1. We ask ourselves, is 1 greater than 5 or less than 5? It is less than 5. So our box number stays the same. That's why there's a 5. Everything to the right of our box turns to a 0. Everything to the left of the box stays the same. So that's why we left it a 2. Then we box the 4, pointed to the 5. 5 is 5. When 5 is the magic number, then we go up by 1. So our box number goes up by 1. That's why I wrote 5 here in the tens place. Everything to the right stays a 0. Everything to the left stays the same. We add up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. I can't write 10 though. The ones place stays in our answer. The tens place you carry over to the hundreds place. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 600. They are very close, so it is reasonable. So we put our estimate of 600. Okay. I'm going to show you. I did not have them estimate these numbers. I wanted them to just practice adding. Okay. Again, the estimating was just a review, but what I want them to do is make sure they have their adding down. So only 6, 10, and 8 is what we did. And we're not estimating. I just want them to line up the ones place and the tens place and the hundreds place and add. So that's what they're doing for those 3 problems. Then we moved on to homework. Their homework is the even on the front. My document camera does not want to work today. All right. All the even numbers. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 is homework. And again, they don't have to estimate. I had a student that needed help, so we were working together after class, and we were practicing estimating, but you don't need to. Number 13, using cubes. You first underline the question. Then you look back and say, okay, what are our key numbers? So circle the important numbers. Then you box the math verb. Then you evaluate. You think about what is the question asking you, and then you solve it. We're not doing 14. Don't do 14. On the back, I did number 1 with the students. They need to do number 2, 3, 4. I did number 5 with the students. I made a beautiful oops. I added wrong. It is actually 43. And they need to do number 6. What I want to point out is not all the questions have about in them. That's why the box, the math verbs, is important. Our only math verb in this question is and. And means add. There is no about in here, so we do not round first. Okay. Then we moved on to art, and I'm so happy. So in their week 4 and 5 third grade activities, there is pop art landscape. So just follow it step by step. And we did it step by step together, and then we had some time to color. But I do want them to do it. So just follow that. You have it. In the packet is a blank piece of paper. And this is what mine is so far. I haven't finished coloring it. But the beauty of this art that made me love it is we're talking about beautiful oops. We're talking about growth mindset. And really, growth mindset is thinking outside the box and continuing and not giving up. Well, students with more of a fixed mindset, it's hard for them to do something that is not realistic, right? We don't have grass that looks like this. That's not realistic. Well, what I want you to do is color it to not be realistic. Think outside the box. Use your imagination. Turn it into whatever you want. Okay? And then you need to read for 30 minutes. You need to make sure you finish the 2 science assignments that are online. And the rounding sheet with the dog, that coloring sheet we still need to work on. and then have a wonderful weekend.